How's it going, everyone? Got a bunch of exciting PlayStation game news and updates. We have a lot of updates regarding the PlayStation China Hero project, games coming out of China, and they're allocating a lot of resources to that project. We'll talk all about that. One specific game from that project has an update. We'll cover that, and we've got a bunch of updates on God of War Ragnarok. A brand new patch has dropped and some patch notes available on that, and we have some updates on the game itself. Surprise, surprise! It's selling really well. Actually breaking a record. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, PlayStation China Hero Project Phase 3. To include more than 10 titles, Sony Interactive Entertainment is allocating more resources than ever to this project. Phases 1 and 2 have supported a total of 17 games, 7 of which have launched. Those games include Animal Force, Anno Mutationum, Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, Hardcore Mecha, Immortal Legacy, In Nightmare, and The Walker. I can tell you guys, really dug Anno Mutationum as well as Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. Those two games really stood out to me. Phase 3 is now aiming to include 10 titles or even more than that. SIE of China Game Production, Bao told Reuters this: the scale of the third phase will far exceed the previous two. Sony Interactive Entertainment is looking to invest more than $1 million into each title it supports, as well as support teams both big and small. Some titles from Phase 3 will be published by Sony Interactive Entertainment themselves and be supported by various PlayStation studios. We already know that Lost Soul Aside will be published by SIE. That is an incredibly highly anticipated game that's been in development for seemingly years and years. It originally got revealed back in 2016, I want to say, and it started off as a one-man project by Yang Bing. Then it expanded into a project done by Ulti Games, a studio that formed with over 40 developers on board working on the title. We have another game that we know SIE will be publishing. We'll talk that in a little bit. The company also announced the formation of its China game production team to oversee Chinese-made games. SIE Shanghai president Tatsuo Iguchi said the success of Genshin Impact, which the company supported, has convinced management that Chinese games are important, adding that it is allocating more resources than ever to China. Iguchi added that SIE's partnership is going strong as well. SIE sold 3.5 million PlayStation 4 units in China and has so far sold about 670,000 PlayStation 5 units. The goal is to sell at least twice as many PS5 units as PS4 units total. We want gamers around the world to better understand the creativity that comes from China. I've always had a dream, which is for console gaming to become a regular part of daily entertainment for Chinese people. So they are expanding as far as regional support goes. And on top of that, Lost Soul Aside was a big game that was confirmed to be published by Sony, but another title that will be published by Sony and now is confirmed to be a PS4 and PS5 exclusive, that is Convallaria. SIE will publish a Loom Force-developed multiplayer third-person shooter and PlayStation China Hero Project title, Convallaria, worldwide, and it will be available on PS5 and PS4. It was noted Convallaria, created by Chinese-based developer Loom Force. Convallaria is a key game project from the China Hero Project and is a multiplayer online shooting action game. It's a fast-paced action shooter that places teamwork and tactics at the heart of its gameplay, blending PvP and PvE. Players travel through a unique world in which science fiction and fantasy intertwine as players seek to reconstruct distant memories from a long-forgotten past. As they embark on this journey across the dusty world of Convallaria, players will be able to work together, allowing for PvE gameplay to take down large bosses as they leverage a diverse collection of weapons and combat styles. For the more combative players, they'll be able to go head-to-head with up to 100 fellow combatants as they seek to complete missions and secure resources in an openly hostile game world. The development team of the game have combined a playful art style, high-speed battles, and deep, rich world to provide their own take on the action shooter genre to deliver a play experience that will have players coming back for more. The company was founded back in 2016, and its core team is from well-known game companies in the industry with more than 10 years of game development experience and has participated in the production of many internationally renowned AAA masterpieces. During the past few years of development, we have faced many challenges, but with funding from and help from Sony and our partners, the team has overcome many difficulties. We are looking forward to the opportunity of sharing more news on Convallaria very soon. Now, the issue with these games, like, this is one of the more anticipated China Hero projects, and then Lost Soul Aside, obviously one of the highly anticipated China Hero projects. I do question at what point do people go like, okay, it's either bring these games out or we don't care, and I feel like Lost Soul Aside is getting a little bit of that, especially in my last video I uploaded covering the update we got on LSA. A lot of people are like, yo, this game has been in development for how long? It seems like it's in dev hell. Nobody cares. I literally saw comments of people saying we don't care anymore, etc., etc. I'm still very excited for the game, and the gameplay, as far as you know, what a 1 minute and 40-second trailer can tell you, I think it looks really good. But yeah, I agree with you guys that after 6 years, you need substantial updates. We need to get a release window going, and we're talking about LSA being a cross-gen title. Well, come 2023, if it's not out, we're heading into 2024, and we're still talking about cross-generation titles. I don't know about that one, but we'll see how all of that turns out. But a lot of emphasis being put in the China Hero project from PlayStation. All right, moving on from that, God of War Ragnarok, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been playing it. The majority of my boys that picked it up have completed the game by now, and everybody's doing side content and completing the game, 100%ing it or whatever. Yeah, so this game is awesome, obviously. You know, I have some issues with it that I won't go in depth with now, but obviously, it's a game that you should absolutely spend your money on. You know, there's very few games that I recommend at a full $70, but Ragnarok is one of them, and it's a very, very well-made game, a very polished game. It's a lot more of the same at first from 2018, then you realize it does expand and it does bring in some new bells and whistles that I did appreciate. But we have new patch notes, version 2.04, fixed the case where some players were unable to change difficulty level in-game. I actually had this issue. I was trying to go from the second to highest difficulty into the normal difficulty, since I was just like, bro, let me just play the game and enjoy it on normal and like not have that big of a challenge, and then I'll go back and play it at hard at some point. But I was like, yo, I bit off a little bit more than I could chew for my first playthrough, and then I couldn't change the difficulty. Like, literally it would just stay at the same difficulty. Like, I kept changing it, kept loading me back into the same checkpoint, and I would have to just play the game at the same difficulty that I started the game at. So that was a little bit of a bummer. And then also, they fixed an issue, stability and performance, fixed a rare crash that could occur in the weapons menu as well. So nice patch notes there. Kind of funny, did do an interview with director Eric Williams of Santa Monica and noted, as far as DLC goes, I don't know, man, that game is big. I think we put everything we had into it, so I wouldn't count on it on the arrival of additional content. Kind of expected that to be, you know, something that would be happening. I imagine New Game Plus is going to be something that they do implement. However, you know, as far as DLC, God of War 2018 didn't have DLC, and I wouldn't expect Ragnarok to have DLC either. But lastly, as far as Ragnarok goes, fastest selling first-party launch game in PlayStation history, 5.1 million copies sold through as of its debut week. Fastest selling first-party launch title, God of War franchise record. Holy hell, that is an impressive number that is sure to only grow over the coming weeks through the holidays. And then also, you know, ultimately, you would expect this game to be released on PC a year and a half from now, and that'll expand the sales numbers even more. You would have to think that by all is said and done, much like Horizon Zero Dawn, much like God of War 2018, it is going to crack that 20 million number pretty comfortably in a couple years. So, yeah, we could say that Ragnarok is a gigantic success. You know, this was one of the games that made my friend, who hasn't been into gaming in a long time, pick up a PlayStation 5, and he was ready to pick up God of War Ragnarok, and I talked him out of it because he did play God of War 2018. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? But yeah, like, that's how big this game is. You know, there are very few games that really get into the cultural mainstream zeitgeist, so to speak, and I feel like God of War Ragnarok was one of those. Like, when I'm out and about and I see God of War shirts around launch time for Ragnarok and people talking about it, I just overhear conversations at the gym and whatnot. I was like, okay, so this is a game that definitely goes beyond just this core gaming bubble that people on the internet live in. You know, it's one of those games that people that are the most casual of gamers, they know about it and they're excited about it. So not too surprising it sold all too well, but good on them for delivering a high-quality product with a top-tier sales number. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of PlayStation updates with PlayStation China Hero Project. Phase 3 is going to include more than 10 titles. Hopefully, we get some definitive information on LSA as far as a release window goes. Convallaria will be published by SIE as well. God of War Ragnarok gets a new patch. DLC is unlikely. As far as sales goes, it's absolutely killing it. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.